Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Akainu awakens a supreme power to destroy the sun god, Nika, whom Luffy embodies in Gear 5, transforming the Admiral of Absolute Justice into a volcano capable of extinguishing the light of freedom. That's right, forget seeing Akainu as just an enforcer of orders. Know that he evolves his Magu no Mi to a level that even consumes the divine essence of Nika, creating a final confrontation where the fire of rigidity clashes with the laughter of revolution. Let's break this down with direct facts from the manga chapters, using real moments to show how Akainu could become the perfect antidote to the sun god, turning the tide for the Marines in a climax that burns Joy Boy's legacy. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Fans, Akainu appears as a relentless force in chapter 550 during Marineford, where he already masters the Magu no Mi, melting everything around him and executing deserters with lava fists that leave no ashes. His ideology of absolute justice drives him to pierce Ace in chapter 571, declaring that pirates like him deserve total eradication, a mindset that makes him the perfect opposite of Luffy, who awakens as Nika in chapter 1044, embodying the sun god with laughter that bends reality and inspires freedom. Nika, as Vegapunk explains in chapter 1116, is the liberating warrior who challenges tyrants like Emu, who sank the ancient world during the Void Century. Akainu, with his Logia fruit that transforms him into magma, could awaken to a state that consumes light and heat, like a volcanic black hole, nullifying Nika's sun. In chapter 576, Akainu survives blows from Whitebeard that crack islands, regenerating with lava that burns through earthquakes, suggesting a potential to evolve against divine forces. The theory gains weight when we consider fruit awakenings, a concept introduced in chapter 1030 when Sanji activates the Vine Smoke genes, but applied to Logias like Akainu's, who in chapter 500 already manipulates magma on a massive scale. Awakenings transform the environment, like Doflamingo in chapter 785 turning Dressrosa into threads, or Kaido in chapter 1049 creating cloud islands. Akainu could awaken to magma that absorbs solar energy, consuming Nika's fire, which in chapter 1044 turns lightning into balloons but depends on vitality. In chapter 1116, Vegapunk reveals that devil fruits originate from human desires. Akainu, obsessed with eradication, would wish for a power that extinguishes divine lights, like his strike in chapter 571 that pierced Ace, a D, bearer symbolizing the legacy of freedom. Akainu, as Nika's destroyer, aligns with his trajectory in the Marines, where in chapter 580 he pursues Luffy with blind fury, declaring that the blood of Roger and Dragon must end. This isn't just duty, it's prophecy, as if Akainu knows Luffy's potential as Nika, revealed in chapter 1044 when Zunisha announces Joy Boy. In chapter 957, Sengoku mentions that Garp took down rocks, but Akainu as Fleet Admiral in chapter 650 carries a justice that evolves against greater threats, like Emu in chapter 906 manipulating the world. His magma, which in chapter 576 withstands Whitebeard's earthquakes, could awaken to a state that swallows heat, like a black sun against the sun god, nullifying Luffy's Gear 5 powers that depend on creativity and vitality. Akainu's evolution gains basis in the concept of Haki and combined awakenings, like Zoro in chapter 1033, infusing swords with Conqueror's Haki to cut the indestructible. Akynu, with advanced Haki in chapter 5, 150 blocking Marco's attacks, could combine his awakened magma with Conqueror's Haki, creating lava that burns souls perfect for destroying Nika, who in chapter 1044 represents spiritual liberation. Vegapunk in chapter 1069 explains that fruits have wills of their own. Akainu's as primordial magma could desire to consume divine lights, evolving in the final confrontation into a power that makes Luffy's sun evaporate. In chapter 1116, Vegapunk accuses Emu of ancient crimes. Akainu, as an enforcer in chapter 650, could awaken to serve as a weapon against Joy Boy, but his absolute justice leads him down a path directly opposed to Luffy. In chapter 1047, Kaido says that Haki conquers all Akainu, surviving Marineford in chapter 580, has this Haki, and his awakening would make him the perfect counter to Nika, consuming laughter with eternal flames. The theory gains further weight with the concept of fruit awakenings shown in chapter 1030 when Sanji activates the Vine Smoke genes, but applied to Logias like Akainu's, who in chapter 500 already manipulates magma on a colossal scale. Awakenings alter environments like Doflamingo in chapter 7, 185 turning Dressrosa into threads. Akynu could awaken to lava that engulfs energy, nullifying Nika's fire, which in chapter 1040 44 transforms lightning into balloons, but depends on vitality. In Chapter 1069, Vegapunk explains that fruits come from human desires. Akynu, obsessed with the extinction of threats, would wish for a power that extinguishes divine lights, like his strike in Chapter 571 that eliminates Ace Adi, bearer, representing the will for freedom and resistance. Akynu, therefore, could aim not only to annihilate the forces of good that challenge the system, but also the very symbol of revolution that Luffy represents by embodying Nika, the sun god. This leads to a cosmic war between light and darkness, a battle where magma becomes the perfect counterweight to the freedom released by Luffy's sun god fire. The concept of Akynu as the perfect antidote to Nika may seem radical, but in light of events already revealed in the manga, it is an intriguing and convincing possibility. The first crucial point for developing this theory is the evolution of Akainu's own ideology. He is not just an ordinary admiral. Akynu represents the relentless rigidity of absolute justice, a morality demanding that any threat to the world order be eradicated without mercy. This vision became evident from his introduction at Marineford, where he did not hesitate to kill Ace, positioning him as the greatest antagonist on the Marine side. However, something that becomes clear the moment he begins to pursue Luffy so obsessively is that he sees more than just a pirate in Luffy. He sees an existential threat. When Luffy awakens as Nika in Gear 5, he represents the final flame of a divine revolution against oppressors, being likened to the sun itself. Akynu, on the other hand, has the nature of an immortal volcano, someone whose very existence is forged through destruction. By studying this duality, we can infer that Akynu, in a final confrontation, could awaken his Magu no Mi to reach a new Form 1, more akin to the destructive nature of magma itself, but with a distinct purpose: to consume and eradicate the light. The theory that Akynu could awaken his fruit into a power that extinguishes sunlight is supported by the already established concept of devil fruit awakenings in the One Piece universe. Devil fruits not only grant extraordinary abilities, but also manifest changes in the environment around the user. This concept has been explored with characters like Doflamingo, who could turn Dressrosa into a web of threads, and Kaido, whose fruit allowed him to create cloud islands and storms. Akynu, being a master of the Magu no Mi, already manipulates magma with great skill. Now, imagine an awakening that transforms his magma into something that not only creates large-scale destruction, but also consumes energy, specifically solar energy. This would be a natural defense against the light of the sun, the light of Nika. As we have seen in Gear 5, Nika relies on vital energy and his own creativity to shape the world around him. Akynu, with his Magu no Mi, could evolve into a form that not only resists this kind of energy, but suppresses it, nullifying the source of Luffy's power, the very sun of Nika. Akynu has already shown that his obsession with eradicating any threat to the world government and his vision of justice is unwavering. He has always opposed Luffy directly, as if he knew the pirate's unimaginable potential. At Marineford, his direct hostility toward Luffy was not just a reflection of his nature, but also a foreshadowing of what was to come. The simple fact that Akynu continues to pursue Luffy after his ascension as the Sunbearer indicates that he senses a tangible threat, and as a man of pure, relentless logic, he must extinguish that threat at any cost. Moreover, the connection between Akynu and the ancient history of the Void Century, and even the reference to Imu, the Shadow King himself, suggests that Akynu, on some level, understands the depth of the coming struggle. He is not merely fighting pirates, but a cosmic shift that goes beyond the logic and order he defends. Luffy, as Nika, is destined to be a catalyst for revolution. But this revolution, if Akynu has any say, will be consumed by the lava of his justice. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.